Imagine owning a Ferrari and always putting an 87 octane into that Ferrari. Just got another 10, 15% horsepower boost. What sort of things could you do in your life with 10 to 15% better mood, clarity, energy, vitality, focus? What could you do with all that? That's incredible. Why does one do the carnivore diet? What's the point? When I think about the carnivore diet, there's multiple reasons. It's an ultimate discipline tool. It tests your will. You don't eat a lot of really anything that doesn't bring you any sort of nutritional value. You're eliminating all that stuff, and it really puts your mind of a long-term success mode. When you choose to be a true carnivore and strict on the carnivore diet, and you start eating foods that fuel you, that fuel your gut, that reverse chronic disease, that lower inflammation, that optimize your hormones, you are telling yourself that, and you pass on the foods that are slowing you down, that are giving you short-term instant pleasure, dopamine spiking hit, but are there for basically indulgence, but not necessarily optimal in terms of nutrition and what it is that you want to get out of what you're eating, subconsciously, unconsciously communicating to yourself that you are a long-term focused person that really wants to focus on that. Carnivore diet's huge. I think the carnivore diet can be absolutely powerful, but you have to stay focused. You cannot give up. You have to remember why you've done this. When you have this diet going, when you've got it dialed, food is a fuel for you. It is not something you have to worry about. It just becomes a secondary thing that you can just rock, and you don't have to worry about it. You just go with it. It helps you. It fuels you. It gives you energy. It treats your illness, and it gives you vitality. When you are not sick, when you're not bloated, when you're not distracted with gut issues, when you have optimal body weight, when you have full control of your body weight, when you can be as strong as you want to be, when you can feel as powerful as you want to be, like, how can that not be something you want? If you're optimizing, if you're thinking about how you're going to be a carnivore, if you're thinking about what you're going to do, if you're really wanting to know how great you can be, why would you not consider the diet? The food that you put in your body is what's impacting every part of your performance. It affects the way you think. It affects your emotions. It affects your mood. It affects your clarity. It affects your focus. That stuff is super important in today's knowledge world. When you can't think, when you don't have the energy to be clear-minded, when you are dealing with disease, when you're dealing with bloating, when you're dealing with food and that's part of your regimen, why would you focus on that? Listen, I get that people want to indulge. I get that there are times when you want to let off the gas, when you want to do some things that aren't optimal for you. You can't constantly always be 100% focused on what is most important, what is best for you. It doesn't make sense. You have to have variety. That's part of life. But when you're on the carnivore diet and you are dialed in, I always tell people when I'm talking to them, I like to be a person in cycles. When I'm in the zone, I am working, I am hustling, I am doing everything I can to give myself an edge, to be the best I can be. And I am in that work mode. I don't even really consider socializing when I'm on work mode. It's really just like, I'm in the zone, I'm doing my thing, that's what I want to do. And that's okay. You can do that. I'm telling you right now, it is fine if you want to just hustle, if you want to be an introvert, if you want to wake up at 4 in the morning and go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, you can do that for weeks. You can do that. You don't need to go on a date. You don't need to go have a conversation with someone. You don't need to go do a social event at your building. You don't need to do any of this stuff. You can focus on your mission, your dream, stay dialed in, and just crush it. That's what you can do. The carnivore diet is one of the best things you can possibly do to help yourself get in the zone. Being an entrepreneur, being someone who's on a mission, your side hustle, accomplishing your dreams, all these things take massive focus. They take massive energy. Why not give your body the fuel, give your body the energy, give your body the right complete nutrition in the most bioavailable form, with all the vitamins you need, with all the minerals you need, without supplementing, to make sure that it actually works for you, and get rid of all that noise and give yourself all the fuel. Look, you're in a race. When you're in an entrepreneurial project, or you're on a mission to do something that's meaningful, you're often in a race. And the amount of energy, the amount of focus that you need to develop, the momentum you need to build to make real traction is serious. You cannot afford to be, as Tom Bilyeu would say, passive. You have to be engaged. You have to be focused. And I can't think of one better reason than having a simple diet where it's already dialed. You know what you're gonna feel on that diet, and it becomes part of your biology. And on top of that, you know that from all the anecdotes out there that this is the most optimal way to sustain mood, ketogenic aspect, and gut issues. The carnivore diet is the answer. I know what you're thinking. This video is coming out. There's been the holidays, there's a lot of temptations. Maybe you're just dealing with tough times and emotions are getting the best of you, and I get that. But remember, the best emotions come from progress. They come from meaningful accomplishments. They come from how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. And the only thing that's gonna make you feel great in that situation is being aligned to your values. What's important to you? Is health a high value? Is health higher than indulgence? Is health higher than short-term pleasure? Is being at your optimal self worth the sacrifice of skipping out on that ice cream, skipping out on that pizza? Is the 2 or 3 hours of lack of clarity, of lack of focus, of lack of optimal ability really worth the trade-off when you look at what you're doing when you take in this kind of food or you cheat with this? The other thing, remember, you're reinforcing, when you stay consistent on the carnivore diet, a lifestyle of meaning, of deep, purposeful meaning, of long-term thinking, of long-term accomplishment and pleasure. When you eat foods for pleasure, when you eat foods that are not optimal for you, that you know are unhealthy, whether it's sugar, processed, maybe it's plant foods that you know just don't sit well with you. When you eat those kinds of foods, you're unconsciously communicating to yourself that it's okay to do this, that you can do this, that you can let it happen every now and then, and that it's fine to do that. But remember the price you pay for that, the amount of time, the residual effects after days, the sleep impact, the negative impact on your sleep, the performance that goes down the next day. All these things have a huge impact. Being a carnivore is a lifestyle. It bleeds into everything that you do. It becomes a part of you. It's an incredible ancestral biohack, and it helps a lot of people heal their diseases and things that they didn't even know that they had. And it gets you to an optimal level where you're at an optimal state that you don't even realize you could actually be at. And that's the beauty of this thing. You may have been operating at 60, 50% of what you could be. And now you can go to 100%. Imagine owning a Ferrari and always putting an 87 octane into that Ferrari when the operating manual required a 92 or 93. And one day you go on the carnivore diet and you shift and you get your engine cleaned out and you're running on 92, 93 octane. And now this Ferrari just got another 10, 15% horsepower boost. What sort of things could you do in your life with 10 to 15% better mood, clarity, energy, vitality, focus? What could you do with all that? That's incredible. A 10% leverage. Imagine Einstein's philosophy of the compound effect, one of the 4th wonders of the world, one of the most unique, powerful forces in the universe. The compound effect is incredible, and the beauty of a carnivore diet is it's compounding. When you dial in your diet, it affects your sleep, it affects your energy, it affects your mood. Guess what those things do to the rest of what you're doing in your life? When you experience your life through higher levels of energy, through higher levels of vibration, through clearer focus, through higher levels of mood, you make better decisions, you become a better leader, you're a better person for the people around you, you are a better example for the people you love, you encourage them, you inspire people. It's a huge ripple effect, and you can do this by sticking to it. Even in times of challenge, whenever I have a challenging time, I always think about the long-term impact. Why am I doing this? What is the benefit? Who am I helping? How am I hurting the people that I love, the people that rely on me when I'm not focused and I don't take care of my diet? My diet is something I have to consciously choose. When I choose to seek pleasure and I choose to deviate from my diet, I am making a decision not to be in alignment with the deep, values I have around health, around being focused, being the best version of myself for those that count on me. So stay on track. Don't succumb to all the temptations that are out there. I know they're real. I know they're challenging. Mitigate those. Watch more of my videos. Learn how to stay on track. Do not give up. Stay focused. You can do this. You can stay carnivore. You can stay on the diet, and the benefits you know are there. They help you. They boost you. Play this video over. If you need to play this over 20 times to boost yourself, to get yourself inspired, go and do that. I'm gonna be watching this video myself. I'm gonna be listening to it whenever I have hard times. I'm gonna remind myself, because consistency is about repetition, it's about focus, it's about persistence, and I know that you can do this.